Hi, I'm Mandy Pryor, and welcome to Spotlight on Pittsburgh. Spotlight on Pittsburgh is a program about Pittsburgh's most fascinating people and what they do to make our city an amazing place to live and work. Today we are thrilled to have Patrice Matamoros, President of Junior Achievement of Western Pennsylvania. Joining Patrice will be under 18 honoree Abby Wertz. That was better than the the whole thing, right?
No.
Hi, and welcome back to Spotlight on Pittsburgh. We're here with Patrice. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Long time no see.
I know. It's been forever since the pandemic.
I know. So what's new? What's going on? How's JA? Junior Achievement? I'm sorry, already using the acronym.
That's fine. Junior Achievement's doing really well. Actually, we're really excited about a couple of new programs that we started. One is 18 Under 18, and the other is the Empower Her Summit. So we've been really integrating a lot of experiential education at this point in time, and it's been really great.
And so tell me a little bit about 18 Under 18 and the Empower Her Summit as well.
Yeah, so for 18 Under 18, we do a huge search region-wide, and we are searching for the most amazing kids that are 18 and under that are leading in their communities or in their schools or in sports. So we did this giant search. We had 150 nominations, and then we have really diverse communities of committees that are made up of different professionals and different people from all over who choose the 18 finalists. And we break it down from 150 down to 36, and then we move it to 18. And then we have a media day, and every single person gets an interview. They also get headshots for their resumes, and we work with them the entire day to really showcase their personalities.
That has to be a hard search, hard going through all of those applications, and there's so many great kids, I'm sure, that have gone through Junior Achievement.
Oh, it is. It's amazing. It's a happy search because there are so many great kids, so it gives us hope for the next generation.
Absolutely. And so what's the Empower Her Summit?
So the Empower Her Summit is a summit that we work with female executives from all over Pittsburgh and our region, and we invite girls from high schools to come in to take part in a day-long, really it's just an experiential professional development. They get to meet other women and learn about what their path and career success look like, and they learn how really just to interview, the tips and tricks for interviewing. They learn about what types of jobs are available in different companies, corporations, the training needed. So it's really just a hands-on day for all the girls, and it kind of gives them a snapshot of what they want to do in the future and how they want to think about it.
Well, that's great. I mean, growing up, I don't think there was anything out there like that.
Yeah, I think it's few and far between, but we have so many students that all they really need is that help looking at that direction and that little extra, assistance in meeting other people who are doing what they want to do.
Sure, it's perspective. I mean, at that age, you don't really know where you're going, what you want to do, so having people who are actually out in the field training you or teaching you or at least letting you know what they're doing kind of opens up their eyes a little bit to the possibilities.
It does. And then I think the other thing that is really great is they see that it's not a straight journey that goes from here to here to here. It is a zigzag path to success.
Oh, I mean, that is 100% myself. I've been in all different industries coming up through, and at the time in my 20s, I had no idea where that was going. But now that I'm a little older than 20s, it all made sense. It all came together. It all works together. And I'm like, oh, so that was the right path for me to take, not knowing then what I was actually doing, getting involved in the experience.
Exactly. And it just is helpful to see that sometimes you change your mind and it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and so tell me a little backstory. Tell me a little bit about Junior Achievement, what it is, what it does, and what we can look forward to, or our students can.
Yeah, so Junior Achievement really just fills in the gaps in terms of entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and career readiness. So we're really focused on those 3 pillars. And then we also have experiential educational programs like I just talked about. So for instance, we have JA BizTown, which is amazing. It's the tiniest town in Western PA that's 100% run by kids who are in 4th to 6th grade. And they come in and they interview for their positions. They're either a CEO, a CFO, and they are a high demand position. And they come in, they had to interview for their roles, they had to prepare resumes, they had to figure out how much it was going to cost to put a business loan in place. So the first thing they have to do is take out a loan at the bank. So they really get a real life, personal objective of what life is like and what their parents do on an everyday basis.
And I've been to BizTown. It is incredible. I mean, it's something to be seen. It's like its own little town, and I can only compare it to like something as well done as, say, a Disney exhibit or something. Like, it's just so beautiful in there. Its own little town with street lamps and each little room. What are some of the industries that the kids get to participate in?
So we have construction, we have banking, we have really corporate headquarters like FedEx Ground is in there, PPG. So there are 21 storefronts that are made up of mostly corporate Pittsburgh. And they either represent Pittsburgh or they represent headquarters that are located in Pittsburgh. So it just is a wide range of stores. So Sheetz is also in there. UPMC Children's Hospital is in there.
Now, is it a fully functioning Sheetz, or
it is?
Like you can order MTOs there?
No MTOs, no gas. It's gummy worms and water.
Well, that's something.
So the kids actually get paid during the day while they're in BizTown. So they get paychecks, they cash them at the bank, and then they can go to the storefronts as consumers. But when they're not consumers, they're businesses and they're selling business to business. So they're going to sell you security for your storefront, or Comcast is going to sell you modems. So it really is great.
That is. I mean, that's an experience in itself that, I remember my field trips were to the dairy farm, which is a great experience in itself too. But these hands-on experiences, getting a paycheck, spending your paycheck, that's life coming out of high school. So that's fantastic. How do you work with schools that come in? How does that work?
So what we do is we work with schools that want to come in. They have 12 lessons in which to prepare the students before they come into BizTown, and then they come in for 5.5 hours. So in May, we are completely booked. I think we only have 1 day left. So it's really in high demand, and I think it really has to do with connecting education to real life. So the kids can see how what they're learning in school could be applied in the real world. And I think that's really meaningful.
I think so too. And so what do you see? What's coming up for Junior Achievement? What can we look forward to?
So I'd say skilled trades is really big right now because the trades are looking at retirement rates of 55% in the next 5 years. So we're looking to really help replace that workforce. We're really in need of a workforce. So we are on the forefront of that effort in skilled trades. So we're working with kids anywhere from 5th grade all the way up until they're a senior in high school.
Well, and I definitely know there's, especially post-COVID coming out, the trades, employees, that's with my role is at the chamber, that's all I hear is we need employees. And these trades are, it's great. They get out and they get a paycheck as well in life work. So there's really good opportunities there. So it's great you're focusing on that and putting kids through.
Yeah, and it's just preparing our next generation for the workforce. So when they come into any place of work, they know what is expected of them. They know what type of performance they need to do. We do mock interviews. We help kids with resumes, and we just help introduce them to worlds that they want to see.
Yeah, and so we're going to have Abby on. Abby is an under 18 honoree. Is she from the area?
She is. So she goes to Our Lady of Lord, or Our Lady of Sacred Heart. Sorry.
That's okay.
So she's a senior And she is an absolutely amazing student and person. She is super active in her community as well as in her high school, and she's set to go to college next. She's one of our JA kids who has had junior achievement from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade now. And we're going to be following her beyond that.
That's great. And maybe she'll come back and help with the Empower You Summit down
Yes.
the road, which could be an amazing experience for her.
Yes, because she attended last Friday, so she is automatically an alumni of Junior Achievements.
Wonderful. Well, I think you're doing absolutely fantastic things out there. We're going to bring Abby out here in a minute, and then we'll bring you both on at the end to talk a little bit about Junior Achievement and its future.
That's great.
Thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate everything, as always, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Find out more about all of the programs Junior Achievement has to offer school districts across the region, westernpa.ja.org. And we'll be back. All right, welcome back to Spotlight on Pittsburgh. We are here with Abby Wertz. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And so we were able to get you out of school today to come do this interview, but unfortunately we brought you right back into another school. So thanks Peters Township High School for hosting us. So what can you tell me about yourself?
So my name is Abby Wertz, and I'm a senior at Our Lady of the Sacred Heart High School, or OLSH, and I'm the director of student government at my school.
And so you got involved in Junior Achievement in kindergarten, first grade?
I did. So my grade school actually had a Junior Achievement program where older students would come in and teach the curriculum to us younger students.
That's fun. So what can you tell me about your experiences with that?
Well, it's been a great experience. JA Day was always a super fun day, not only because we got a free day off of classes, but because it was super exciting to be able to learn different things that we don't usually get to learn in school, such as like owning your own business, and we got to debate about certain things, and it was just a lot of fun. So then when I got to high school, I was super excited to learn that my high school had a Junior Achievement program, and I immediately signed up to be a teacher. And I've taught from freshman year all the way to senior year in multiple different grade schools and a local Spanish immigrant community, Mooncrest, that has an after-school program as well.
Now, a little bird did tell me that you learned Spanish to help?
So just certain Spanish phrases.
Good.
Yes, so a lot of the students at Mooncrest don't speak English, so we tried to help them getting a Spanish curriculum and just learning certain Spanish phrases to help them understand it. So it was a lot easier this year than it was last year.
That's incredible. I mean, that's like really putting forth a lot of effort to help people who don't speak English, who probably want to speak English better.
Yes, it was really important to us, and we also help them. I just went yesterday actually to Mooncrest, and we're helping them create their pop-up business. They're doing the new Junior Achievement curriculum of pop-up, so we're having a fundraiser for Mooncrest at my school, and they're going to have a lemonade stand there selling lemonade to help benefit their community.
That's wonderful. And so what are you involved in? You're an 18 under 18 honoree.
I am.
And so how does that feel? How has that played into your life? And tell me about the experience of that.
It's been really great. I've always been connected with Junior Achievement, and it's always been really important to me. I was a presenter for an award at their Spirit of Enterprise event. I've taught. I went to the Empower Her Summit, and I've always just stayed connected. I've had a really good relationship with Patrice, so it was just really nice being able to meet other students who are involved with JA, and they've done so many amazing things, and we've stayed connected and being able to help each other become better people and advance what we're working on.
And so what can you tell me about the Empower Her Summit? What was that experience like?
It was a really good experience. There was a lot of women speakers. I'd say the best part was just seeing women being empowered and empowering us young women, because you don't always see fields dominated by women, and they had a lot of male-dominated fields, brought in the female workers, and you got to see that just because a field may be male dominated doesn't mean you can't work there, and things are actually changing. They have a much better percentage of women in the fields now, and it's just inspiring to know that you can go into any field you want.
And you want to be a cardiothoracic surgeon.
I do.
So what led you to that career path?
So I did a camp when I was in grade school, and I had to create a model of the lungs. So I started researching the lungs, and then I also started researching the heart, and it just really interested me. So I've done multiple programs to help me with that. I did the UPMC I Look Like a Cardiologist program, and I also did the American College of Cardiology Young Scholars program, and I actually went to New Orleans a few weekends ago for their annual conference and got to meet so many doctors from the United States and the entire world, and it's been a great experience of mentorship, classes, and research over the past year.
And so what are your, I mean, obviously we know what you want to do. What are your future goals within that industry?
Well, I do want to be a surgeon, but in order to get there, I have to do a lot of work. So my goals in college is to do a lot of research involved in that field and just learn as much as I can. In high school, we don't always learn things specific to our field, so there was no class on cardiology or cardiothoracic surgery, so I took it upon myself to find resources to learn. So that's always my goal, is just to learn as much as I can so I can be the most successful I can in the future.
Well, that's an incredible career path, and I'm sure you will do well. You've done well so far. Tell me about things that you're doing with your school, some of the involvement that you're doing to help out there.
So I am the Director of Student Government, and when I became this at the beginning of my junior year, it was really important to me that our main goal would be service to the school community while representing all of our students. So we actually set up the Student Government Lunch Fund. We realized that food insecurity is something that is a big issue in our school. 15% of our students face this and struggle to afford school lunch. And for some of them, that's their only meal of the entire day. So we set up a fund that will help aid them in affording lunch. And we actually just had our student faculty volleyball fundraiser last night for it. And we made $1,500, and then we got over $400 in donations afterward from the QR codes we put out. So we're hoping to help as many students as we can.
And so how can anybody donate to this fund?
They can. So we have a link, we have a website. You can donate through that. And you could just as simple as calling the school saying you want to make a donation, and they can direct you of how to do that.
Well, I think it's very important. I mean, we want to make sure kids are fed, kids have a meal in front of them. So that's great work. I'm a big volleyball fan, so I love that you raise money that way. And I'll be sure to share after the program the link, so if anybody wants to donate or get involved in fundraising, they can.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what about when you're in school, favorite programs there, favorite classes, favorite teachers?
Yeah, so my favorite classes are definitely my AP Calculus courses, and then I took AP Biology my sophomore year. And AP Biology is actually how I got connected with the UPMC cardiology program, because my teacher put it on his wall, and I saw the flyer and thought, this looks interesting. So I went and applied for it, and then I really enjoy my math classes. Those are just my favorite classes at school.
You have to like math classes to be
a
surgeon, so that's wonderful. And so what would you tell other girls and even boys out there in terms of getting involved and looking at their future? What would you say would be the most empowering to them?
I would say that if you see a problem in your community, or if there's something you want to do, just go for it. Find people to help you. If you feel that there's no one, there is. You just have to ask. Don't be afraid to ask, because even if one person tells you, no, I can't help you with that, someone else will. And another thing is, don't give up. We're going to face so many challenges. For my school, for the lunch fund, we had to think of a new fundraiser because there's already been so many fundraisers for other things, and we don't want to take away from any other
organization else that's being funded.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had to come up with a new idea, and it took a lot of work to put together, and it took a lot of time. But if you work hard and you really want it, you'll be able to meet your goal.
And I'm sure it's rewarding to you as well.
It is.
Making sure these kids are fed and have meals. I mean, that's great at the end of the day to say, that should be a basic.
Yes, it is. And that's why whenever I learned about it, it was just so disheartening to learn that there are so many people that it could be the person sitting next to you. And that was another thing that was important to us. Nobody knows who it is, but we know that there are kids in our school. and you are making a difference. And kind of to put it into perspective, and what I talked about last night is just $5 feeds a lunch for a student, and $25 is for a week, and $100 is for a month. So just that $5 little can make so much of a difference in a student's day.
Yeah, and I know there was issues during the COVID period where kids weren't in school and they weren't eating as well. So it's even more great that they get to come to school, and now you're helping to give them meals. So
yeah.
And so, are you going to stay involved with Junior Achievement after you graduate?
I hope to. So at the moment, I don't know where I'm going to college. I'm still waiting on some decisions, but I am looking to go towards a major city, and I know a lot of the major cities have a Junior Achievement program. So I've even started looking at some of the places I might want to go, like Chicago or Boston, and they do have Junior Achievement programs. And I've talked to some people at JA, and they said they can connect me with people because it is really important for me to stay connected and do whatever I can.
Wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to share with me today?
Just that I really appreciate being here, and I appreciate everything Junior Achievement has done for me, and that I really look forward to having an opportunity to go to a new place in college and being able to try to make a difference there. And hopefully I'll be able to continue some of the work I've already done, whether it be with working with people with food insecurity or Junior Achievement, and making a difference there.
Great. Well, I'm sure you will do amazing things, and you've done fantastic work as it is. So congratulations on your under 18 honoree title. And we're going to bring Patrice out here in a moment, and we're going to get a little more conversation going. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And congrats once again to Abby and all of Junior Achievement's under 18 honorees. We'll be back in a moment. All right, now we have Abby and Patrice on set here at Spotlight on Pittsburgh, and we both interviewed you. So I was wondering if maybe Patrice had any ideas on anything I didn't ask Abby or that I didn't touch on about under 18 that you guys can think of, because I don't want to miss anything.
Well, I think there is one part of under 18 that we didn't cover, and that was we did a 9-hour curriculum that you had with Benisa,
right.
Who it was really professional development for 9 hours virtually. Benisa's from LA, and really she's a pretty amazing woman who has been a producer on films, on TV, and now she works on personal brand. And she worked with Abby for 8 to 9 hours on personal coaching and brand.
Yeah, she did. It was called the Intern to VP program. And it was really great because it is a little scary at first, as I told Patrice, because she does put you on the spot. But it really challenges you to be a better person and to have better qualities, because she taught that every conversation matters and that everything you do matters and it's part of your image, and just how to take every single day and move it towards your future success.
Your future. No pressure, right? But it does give you a perspective of what you're doing now will affect you down the road. And I know young people don't always see their down the road future. They're like just excited to be alive, which is great too. So that's a great program, and I'm glad you had some good takeaways from it.
It was motivating more than anything.
That's good. That's good. And she, I know you got headshots and you got interviews as well?
We did, yes. So the media day, I've never had that before. We got to take a ton of pictures. It was a little intimidating, but then we had interviews where they just asked us, kind of like you're doing, everything that we're involved in, and they played those at the big under 18 event.
Yeah, and I think the earlier you start doing it, the easier it is as it goes along. So
it is.
It is. And Patrice, anything about junior achievement that I didn't mention during our interview that you thought of?
Well, I think there's so many things that we could talk about, but I think the biggest part of what we're doing is just really trying to fill in a gap. A study just came out yesterday with McKinsey, and they're saying overall the United States has seen an educational gap because of COVID, because everybody was doing everything on video, and it wasn't the most effective way to teach students, is what they're finding. And there's as much as an 18 to 24 month gap is what they're finding in the United States, depending on where you're from. So Pennsylvania doesn't have quite that large of gap, but I think it's really important to look at organizations like what we're doing, because we can help build in skills and experiences for the students to showcase what they're learning in school has a direct impact with what they're going to do in life later.
I also think it's great that Junior Achievement has so many pathways to get involved. There's not one single way to get involved with Junior Achievement, which is great.
Good. Well, keep up the good work, both of you. So great to have you both on today, and I really appreciate learning all about Junior Achievement and your future successes as a cardiothoracic surgeon. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you once again for joining us on this episode of Spotlight on Pittsburgh, and thank you all for watching. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Spotlight on Pittsburgh, and join us again next time when we shine the spotlight on 2 new guests.